As Storm Gerrit swept through the country, damage was forecast.
What the absolute...
But in a corner of Manchester, they got more than they expected. A tornado turning this house inside out and ripping the roofs off other properties in Stalybridge. An extreme example of the poor weather that has put an end to any remaining Christmas cheer.
So I was just sat on the bed and I heard this noise, this rumble. It just got louder and louder. And it was literally just 30 seconds of mayhem, and I just, at the end of it, I just opened the blinds and just caught the tail end of wheelie bins going down the street.
There were no reported injuries. Tameside Council said around 100 homes were evacuated, with officers out all night clearing debris and fallen trees, work that continues today.
These winds are the strongest on Earth, not saying that the one last night was, but associated with tornadoes, we see incredibly strong winds, and they can't really be measured as we would typically measure a wind speed.
Yesterday, Police Scotland declared a major incident in the Highlands on the A9, with snowfall bringing miles of vehicles to a standstill. This morning, parts of the road had reopened, but others remained off limits. In Fife, roads were turned into rivers as a waterway burst its banks, flooding that meant people had to be rescued from their homes overnight. At Bristol Airport, plane landings were a struggle, with flights postponed here and elsewhere. Gusts of up to 80 miles an hour brought down trees and power lines at Fort William, forcing travellers to stay put. Flooded stations and trees on the track saw widespread cancellations across train networks. The Severn Bridge in Gloucestershire was also forced to close, with drivers across the country set to face difficult conditions over the next few days.
There is a fair degree of surface water out there, so like I say, we're encouraging people to drive to the conditions, allow additional time to complete the journeys, take some essential kit with them, some water, some warm clothing, etc.
People are often warned against travel in conditions like this, but for some it will be unavoidable, making this a damp end to a usually cheerful time of year. Shingi Marike, Sky News, Richmond in North Yorkshire.